Hey everyone, welcome to Zack Attack Reviews. Thank you for joining me for my review of Coraline. This is part of my Throwback Thursday series where my subscribers get to vote on films that I've never seen before on a poll for me to review. So with that said, join the fun, hit that subscribe button so you can be notified of when the polls go up, the Throwback Thursday reviews, and much, much more. So let's start with the premise of this film. While exploring her new home, a girl named Caroline, voiced by Dakota Fanning, discovers a secret door behind which lies an alternate world that closely mirrors her own, but in many ways much, much better. She rejoices in her discovery until Other Mother, voiced by Terry Hatcher, and the rest of her parallel family try to keep her there forever. Coraline must use all of her resources and bravery to return to her family and life. Let's start off with the good. So obviously here, the stop motion animation is absolutely gorgeous. This film is from 2006, and this movie holds up so well. The surrounding areas and things like that are usually gray and foresty and green, but there's so many different things that pop with color, like Coraline's blue hair, the pink house, the color of jackets, things like that makes it really stand out. The animation is smooth. It brings life to everything. Inanimate objects, animals, the people, everything has this real lifelike feeling while also just having this real gorgeous artsy look. I really enjoyed this, especially after seeing Pinocchio from Guillermo del Toro this year. To go back this far and see something that is like on par is really great. Tim Burton, who is no novice at stop motion, produced this film with his often collaborator, Henry Delick, who's adapting Neil Gaiman, one of my favorite writers of all time, a book of the same name. This dark fantasy child horror that is about a story of bravery and has some really creepy moments. I think they do a great job, maybe not capturing every creepy moment from the book, but capturing the essence of the creepiness, the wonder, and the meanings of the actual story in the film. Coraline is a girl with this nice standing out blue hair who's tough, resourceful, and maybe a little mean-spirited, but she's very wondrous and can be kind when she realizes she might be mean. I don't think it's on purpose. She is a kid. Sometimes they can be mean-spirited, but not realizing it, getting it from their parents. You can see it kind of from her mother. And speaking of that, her parents are very negligent. They're so focused on this project they have to do for their job that they moved her halfway across the country, away from her friends, away from her school and everything she knows. And it just has their head stuck in their work and not paying attention to this girl that needs attention, especially with a big move like that. This forces Coraline to find something to entertain her, find something to get her attention so she has something to interact with because her parents are not doing it. And she interacts with her neighbors who are all colorful and very different and fun. But eventually she finds this little small door that nobody knew that was part of the house. And at first it seems like it's blocked off, but then when she keeps coming back to it, it's a portal to a pocket dimension that seems like so much better than her world, with other parents there who are much more attentive to her, gives her everything she wants, indulge her in a way that she feels like she needs. Right off the bat, I got a creepy vibe from this. I was like, this is too good to be true, especially with the parents having buttons for eyes, and then you see everybody else that's involved here has buttons for eyes, and I slowly started seeing the creep factor coming in because the way they were downplaying her real birth parents. I knew something of a mist was going on. This was going to be too good to be true. There was a lesson to be learned here. Something like, the grass is not greener across the fence kind of story. And that's exactly what it was. But I think that this showed the two toxic ways of parenting. Her real parents, not paying attention to her, not giving her attention, letting her wander off and do things on her own, putting herself in danger as a child. But on the other hand, these parents being just too self-indulgent and not setting barriers for her, and shows those two different types of things and how you need to kind of have a combination of both. And I thought that was interesting on like a psychological level. And after, getting all the food and cake and fun that she wants, she gets to explore the rest of the world, and she sees some wondrous things that is in her world as well, but just a lot more fun, vibrant, and different shows and things that that she gets to enjoy and be a part of. And I thought that was really brought to life really, really well. The mouse show was really, really fun with the trapeze guy that does the Ringling Brothers with Mouse. It was really, really cool. And then the two stunt actresses and that stunt show that they did was really, really great and was brought to life really well. And I thought it was a little more risque than I expected, especially for a kid movie that's like PG or PG-13. I was like, what's going on here with that? But I really, really enjoyed all of it. The singing, the dancing, it was really entertaining. But soon the fun stops and the creep factor comes in because we're finally starting to see what the other mother's intentions are. She doesn't want to send back Coraline to her regular place. She tries to entice her. Hey, you have everything you want here. Stay here. We're better parents, but one condition: we have to take your eyes and replace them with buttons just like our own. And this is where Caroline's, whoa, like I need to get back home. Like I'm not trying to do that. I want my own eyes. This is fun to come here sometimes, but I still love my real parents. And we see her kind of like trying not to take no for an answer in terms of the other mother. And we start seeing the true intentions, and slowly that the other mother is kind of like a witchy succubus that wants to keep her there for her own selfish needs. And Caroline escapes and gets out because she gets help from people in the world that are also suffering from this. She soon realizes that while she was in there, her other mother kidnapped her parents. And now she has to gain the courage and bravery to go back in there and find a way to get them. Once the world starts becoming more like how it actually is supposed to be in that pocket dimension, if I watched this as a kid, this would have been pure nightmare fuel. From the way the witch looked, the way the world's getting aggressive, the bugs, the rats, and all the disgusting organic things that was there, this would have been absolutely nightmare fuel for me. And I could have just imagined people watching this in 2006 as a young, because at that point I was 16. If I was to watch this at that point, I'm like, whoa, this is really, really creepy. As an adult, I didn't find it as scary as other people probably did back then, but I did think it was really creepy and it'd probably be really scary for kids. And then with Coraline going back in there, realizing that, she wants her real parents and challenging this witch, this succubus, the other mother, to a game so she can not only free the people who are stuck in there as well, but free her parents. The set pieces that they set up were really fun and really engaging, set the tone for the finale and how creepy and kind of scary it was, with the world breaking down as she started getting these souls that were powering the other mother. And the animation really brought this to life, especially with the world crumbling down. It just looked absolutely amazing. And with the stop motion, with it being real items, the way the camera can move through things just filled the space really, really well. And we just got like a lot of entertaining moments there as well. The imagination of the creators here, taking what Neil Gaiman put on the page and bringing it to life so well, with in terms of the powers of the witch and the way the animals and everybody was newborn, the way he was and how he moved and everything, and how like he was just this off awkward kid that must seem like he might be a creep, but is actually just a really nice hearted kid that needs the kind of attention and friendship that Coraline needs, because she's kind of a weird kid as well. And the cat and the way he would interact with humans, but then when he goes to other work and speak, I thought all that stuff was really, really great. Now let's get into the bad. So the first couple minutes of the story, or maybe like first 30 to 40 minutes, basically up until the point where they started showing the true intentions of the other mother, I was kind of bored with the movie a little bit. I thought I was fascinated by the animation and the movement and everything was going on, but the actual story of it, I was kind of bored a little bit, and I had to rewind a bunch of times because I was missing parts of the story because I just wasn't fully engaged in it, even though the animation was great. At the beginning, it's like a stereotypical, you took me away from my friends and my school and where I go from, and then you're neglecting me and leaving me here in this place to find friends and stuff like that. But then it turns into something greater as she gets into that pocket dimension. But before that, I was kind of like, okay, yeah, this is cool. This is a little whimsical, but it just didn't have me fully engaged. But once that happens, I get fully engaged, and I don't really have much negatives to say about this movie other than like little nitpicky things where there were certain things that they probably could explain about what was going on that they didn't explain. And there were certain themes that they put in, like the negligence from the parents, that kind of never gets addressed. Like, obviously, in the end of the movie, once Coraline saves the day and everything, they completed their project and everything goes well, and they start paying attention to Coraline more. But the repercussions of them not paying attention to her in the first place is never really addressed because they don't even remember anything that happened. So I thought that was really weird, and I started to think maybe I was reading too deeper into the message than it was. Maybe it was just supposed to be a fun, creepy story. But yeah, that part really kind of bothered me a little bit when there was no apology, there was no conversation about like them moving her across town or wherever they moved her to, and not paying attention to her and just focusing on their work. I think that would have really brought it home for me and leveled this movie up a bit. Let me get into my verdict. So I think that this movie is a work of art in terms of the animation and the themes of courage and bravery and self-identity and the imagination by the creators, the imagination by the characters. I thought it was really, really well. And for a film that was made in 2006, I think that it holds up so well that you could drop this with maybe res it to 4K and put it in theaters, and I think it would do banger amounts of money in theaters because it's really a really, really good film, especially for kids. So I really enjoyed this. I thank you guys for voting for this for my Throwback Thursday / Women History Month, and I'm gonna give this movie a B+. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate Coraline if you saw it? Do you think it's a masterpiece? Do you think it's okay? What were your favorite moments? Drop all those comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of my reviews, reactions, live discussions, and my Throwback Thursdays. I'm going to be continuing every week. Subscribe to the channel so you can vote and see what I watch next that I've never seen before. And you can watch more of my other content right now.